יברך ויתפלל, על סודה לקמל, על נוגה פרי בשל, על החירות הזאת לראות, לחוש, לנשום, לדעת, לייחל, להיקשר. למדני אלוהי ברך ויתפלל, על סודה לקמל, על נוגה פרי בשל, על החירות הזאת לראות, לחוש, לנשום, לדעת, לייחל, להיקשר. למד שפתותיי ברכה ושיר הלב, ויתחדש זמן חיים בוקר ועם לב, לבל יהיה יומי היום כתמול שלשום. למד שפתותיי ברכה ושיר הלב, ויתחדש זמן חיים בוקר ועם לב, לבל יהיה עלי יומי הרגל.
למדני אלוהי ברך והתפלל, על סודה לקמל, על נוגה פרי בשל, על החירות הזאת לראות, לחוש, לנשום, לדעת, לייחל, להיקשר. למד את שפתותיי ברכה ושיר הלב, ויתחדש זמן חיים בוקר ועם לב, לבל יהיה יומי היום כתמול שלשום. למד את שפתותיי ברכה ושיר הלב, ויתחדש זמן חיים בוקר ועם לב, לבל יהיה עלי יומי הרגל. ויתחדש זמן חיים בוקר ועם לב, לבל יהיה עלי יומי הרגל. למד שפתותיי ברכה ושיר הלב, ויתחדש זמן חיים בוקר ועם לב, לבל יהיה עלי יומי הרגל. Good evening, everyone. So it's so special for us to really be here with you all tonight, in this beautiful, special, warm congregation. And we chose to start off our evening with this song, which is actually a poem written by an Israeli poet, Leah Goldberg. And in the words, she's really asking that every moment of ours, every tiny detail in our life, may we be able to appreciate it and to see the hidden beauty in it, in the withering leaf and in the blossoming flowers and the fruit and every tiny detail of life. And may no experience of ours be just a routine. And that's, I guess, our blessing for us together this evening. May our hearts be able to open for a moment from this routine that we so often fall into, and just to really be able to be present here and now with each other and experience the beauty and the uniqueness of this moment that we're all sharing together. So we've been making music together basically since we met, and we get asked a lot what it's like working together as a husband and wife.
And our answer is,
It's both.
That's so easy.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So as someone once said, we get to do what we love the most with the person we love the most. But it's also very, very challenging. We do a lot of things together. We're parents together. We have two beautiful children. We work together. We take breaks together. Sometimes it's
But I imagined how
a lot of togetherness.
I was imagining. I once imagined how, like, when we first met, I'm like, let's write music together. It'll be such a beautiful thing. And we decided to compose Eshet Chayil, like a beautiful, husband and wife song. And I have to tell you, it was the most not Shalom Bait Eshet Chayil you could compose ever. I was like, let's do this chord, and she's like, let's do this. It just sounded like, not good. So we put that aside.
That. But when we finally did manage to write a song together for the first time without fighting, and it was a song that we both composed the music and the lyrics to, we felt very, very connected to the song. And it's a song about trying to live our lives with kavanah, with intention, in this fast-paced life that we live in, trying to find those moments of clarity, asking ourselves, where are we running to and why? And what's our direction in all of this?
לאן ברח היום, הוא רק התחיל וכבר עזר.
תזכירים חיפשתי בכלל.
הכל רועש לי בפנים ובחוץ, לא להפסיק לרוץ.
ממה אתה לחוץ? שכל דקה רודפת השנייה, הופכת אהבה למטלה, נוחתת שוב הלילה במיטה.
לנוע קצת לפני הקרב הבא, האם אני בדרך למנוחה ולנחלה?
רודפת אופקים, עוקפת שבילים, נותנת לפקקים לנגן לי על העצבים.
בכל רגע שמחה, היא רק מעבר לפינה, במרחק של נשימה. אז איך זוכים לאריכות ימים, שכל רגע מכוון וממלא אותי בפנים, רוצה לחפוץ בחיים, לאהוב את הימים, לראות טוב, טוב רק טוב. עוצר ומרים מבט,
רואים יותר כשהולכים לאט,
וכמה זה פשוט להיות ולחוות ולהודות.
מפסיקה לעמוד מהצד, הרבה מונח אצלי ביד, מהחיים מפיקדון אני לא רוצה לבזבז עוד רגע אחד.
אני יודעת השמחה, היא רק מעבר לפינה, במרחק של נשימה. אז איך זוכים לאריכות ימים, שכל רגע מכוון וממלא אותי בפנים, רוצה לחפוץ בחיים, לאהוב את הימים, לראות טוב, טוב רק טוב. אז איך זוכים לאריכות ימים, שכל רגע מכוון וממלא אותי בפנים, רוצה לחפוץ בחיים, לאהוב את הימים, לראות טוב, טוב רק טוב. וממלא אותי בפנים, רוצה לחפוץ בחיים, לאהוב את הימים, לראות טוב, טוב רק טוב. אז איך זוכים לאריכות ימים, שכל רגע מכוון וממלא אותי בפנים, רוצה לחפוץ בחיים, לאהוב את הימים, לראות טוב, רק טוב.
אז איך זוכים לאריכות ימים, שכל רגע מכוון וממלא אותי בפנים, רוצה לחפוץ בחיים, לאהוב את הימים, לראות טוב, רק טוב. So after after we got married, we figured we'll give it a shot. We'll try to make music together. And we started making these videos from our living room, very kind of homey, simple videos every Shabbat, before every Shabbat, every Friday. And after a few months of this, posting every single week, mainly it reached, our family, our friends. Yoni's dad commented every single week.
My dad's the best.
So after a few months of this, we said I remember there was 1 week. We said, we'll be original, we'll be creative. Instead of making a video from our living room, we'll make it from our kitchen.
I don't know why we thought that was cool, but we did it. And we post this video, and we're very happy. We're being consistent already for a few months.
We drive to a friend's concert, and on the way, while we're on the road, I kind of go in and I start reading the comments and checking kind of what people are writing, and we're getting all these angry messages. We can't hear anything. What's wrong?
Turns out the microphone wasn't on, just yes in the kitchen, like singing. Can't hear anything. So we're like, oh no, we have to be consistent. We've been doing this every Thursday at night, for such a long time. So we decided to stop on the side of the road. And we're like, you know what, let's just sing a cappella song. It won't be great, but as long as we do something and share it with the world.
Our daughter started crying, so we were holding her. Don't worry, the car was parked. And we did this video. We thought it won't really reach a lot of people, but at least we'll be consistent.
I know someday it will all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say.
And we posted it, and it ended up reaching millions of people around the world and going completely viral. And turns out there's something called carpool karaoke, which we knew nothing about, but everyone's like, oh, a cool carpool karaoke.
What's carpool karaoke? This is great.
We were just stuck in our car. So there's a saying in Yiddish, they say that man placht and Gott lacht, man plans and God laughs. And we kind of experienced that, how, sometimes the things that we really least believe in are the ones that surprise us the most.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing.
And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown,
but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it will all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more wars, and the children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on souls of the innocent, blood-drenched pavement. Keep on moving, but the water's surging. In this squeeze, you can lose your way, your way. It may drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way. No way, wait. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it will all turn around because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more, there'll be no more wars, and the children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day this all will change, treat people the same, stop with the violence, stop with the hate. One day we'll be free, and I'm proud to be under the same sun. want to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and the children will pray. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day,
One day, one day.
Jerusalem, if I forget you, Jerusalem, if I forget you, ooh, Jerusalem, if I forget you,
Then I come down from it,
Jerusalem, if I forget you,
let my hand forget what it's supposed to do.
Jerusalem, if I forget you,
Then I come down from it,
Jerusalem, if I forget you.
In the ancient days, we will return with no delay, picking up the bounties and the spoils on our way. We've been traveling from state to state, and I don't understand what they say. 3,000 years with no place to be. They're trying to take the map, milk and honey. Don't you see? It's not about the land or the sea, not the country, but the reigning of His Majesty.
Jerusalem, if I forget you,
Then I come down from it,
Jerusalem, if I forget you,
let my hand forget what it's supposed to do.
Jerusalem, if I forget you,
Then I come down from it,
Jerusalem, if I forget you. האם לא
If I forget you, then I come down from
האם
it,
לא אעלה ירושלים, על ראש שמחתי, כאילו קולו המאה, כיסו את ירושלים, כאילו בא אורו של עולם. הנה אני בא, הנה אני בא,
ירושלים,
הנה אני בא,
חוזר אלייך,
הנה אני בא,
אל חומותייך.
הנה אני בא, הנה אני בא, הנה אני בליבנו, בליבנו עוד שיר אחד קיים. ירושלים, בין ירדן לים, הנה אני בא.
Thank you. Wow, it was so much fun playing with this amazing band. You guys are really fantastic. So that's a little mashup of Jerusalem songs, because Jerusalem really is so diverse. Just like these different songs, it's kind of like a little, a little
Microcosm of it.
microcosm of the world in a sense. Sometimes it has all the tensions of the world, but we also believe that it's the heart that one day will also be part of the healing of the world and kind of bring peace to the whole world. We're both very connected to Jerusalem. I was born in Jerusalem, actually. My parents are from America. That's where my English is from. And,
If no, we
right,
were from
we were
Israel,
thinking of talking
we
like
talk
this, but we not
love
speak English
America.
so well.
You're amazing people.
Right. So if it wasn't for my parents, that's probably how I'd be speaking to you right now. And Yoni was actually born in New York and moved.
I made Aliyah when I was 5 because I was a big Zionist. And I decided that that's enough, I have to move. So I just did it. So my family took me. And I'm happy and grateful for that.
But he also lived in Jerusalem for a lot of years. So we're going to dedicate another song to Jerusalem, to Yerushalayim. And you're all invited to sing along with us.
אוויר הרים צלול כיין, בריח אורנים, נישא ברוח ארבעים, עם כל פעמונים.
ופתרדמת אילן ואבן, שבויה בחלומה, העיר אשר בדד יושבת, ובליבה חומה, ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור,
ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. איך יבשו בורות המים, כיכר השוק ריקה, ואין פוקד את הבית בעיר העתיקה, ובמראות אשר בסלע מייללות רוחות, ואין יורד אל ים המלח בדרך יריחו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. חזרנו אל בורות המים, לשוק ולכיכר, שופר קורא בהר הבית בעיר העתיקה, ובמראות אשר בסלע אלפי שמשות צורחות, נשוב נרד אל ים המלח בדרך יריחו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. One more time, let's hear you all. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושלום, הלא לכל שירייך אני קינו. קינו.
So we feel very lucky to be here together with you all. So we want to share a special story with you. Personally, it's my favorite Hasidic story. And the story goes, it's about a man who really, really wanted to meet Eliyahu Hanavi. That was like his biggest dream. And he went to his Rebbe and he said, Rebbe, you know, I'm trying to be good, to do good deeds to people. I don't know. Tell me, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to meet Eliyahu Hanavi?
So the Rebbe tells him, if you really want to meet Eliyahu Hanavi, you have to go to this town far away. And in this town, behind the town there's a forest, and deep in that forest there's a little hut, and if you go there and spend Shabbat over there, you'll meet Eliyahu Navi. He goes, really? He goes, yes, but you have to bring with you food and clothes and candles and make it really a really great Shabbat, a really festive Shabbat. So he goes, great, that's all I have to do, I'll do it. So he tells his family, listen, I have to go, I really want to meet Eliyahu Navi, I'm going to this faraway place to meet Eliyahu Navi for Shabbat. So he has his wagon, he starts throwing on all the food and all the stuff and the clothes and the candles and really good stuff for Shabbat. And he goes on his journey. He gets to the town, starts asking around, they tell him, yeah, you want to go there for Shabbat? It's not a great place to go, okay. Back there in the forest, he goes in the forest, and he sees this really nebuch little little thing over there, a little hut. And he gets close to the door, he knocks on the door, and this family opens up, they really look just not well, and they go, what do you want? And he goes, I'm here to spend Shabbat with you, could I have Shabbat with you? They go, yeah, you could come, but we don't really have anything to eat, you know. He goes, don't worry, I brought food, I brought stuff, I brought candles, it'll be great. Just let me be here for Shabbat. I said, oh, okay, food, you know, why not? So he sits over there and they do Shabbat and they have Kiddush and they're all eating and singing together. It's great, you know. And he's just all time, you know, looking, when is Eliyahu going to come in? He never shows up. The whole Shabbat goes by, great Shabbat, no Eliyahu Navi. He thought maybe in Havdalah, you know, they say the Havdalah and Eliyahu are connected. Maybe then he's going to show up and they sing Havdalah with the candles and no Eliyahu Navi. So he's pretty upset. Goes back to his Rebbe. He says, Rebbe, you sent me all the way to the house to meet Eliyahu Navi and no one showed up. And what did I do? He goes, do you really want to meet Eliyahu Navi? He goes, yeah. Go back there for another Shabbat. He goes, what is this? So again, he tells his family, I have to go back there. Gets his wagon, everything ready, goes to the same town, to this Nebuch house, and as he gets close to the door, he hears crying. He hears the kids are crying and the mother, and they go, Mommy, we're hungry, we're cold. Mommy, we don't want to we can't do this anymore. And he hears the mother telling the children, maybe this week Eliyahu Navi is going to come again. And so he comes in, he has a great Shabbat with them, and so joyful and beautiful, and he was all, this, what do we call him? Shlomo was very happy.
So really, so often I feel when we're trying to work on our spirituality, we're trying to get, you know, closer to God, to Hashem, we want to have this revelation, whether it's meeting Eliyahu Navi or having some kind of spiritual high, and really, I really believe that the deepest way for us to really experience that is just to try and emulate that, to try and emulate godliness, to try and be more godly ourselves, and that is where spirituality lies. So the next song's about returning to ourselves, trying to return to our truest, most deepest, purest self.
Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul.
Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Hashem. Hashem Yisrael
Diddy lay lay, diddy lay, diddy lay 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 lay. Diddy lay lay, diddy lay, diddy lay. Okay. Diddy lay lay, diddy lay lay, diddy lay, diddy lay 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 lay. One more time. Diddy lay lay, diddy lay lay, diddy lay, diddy lay 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 lay. כל מה שתרצה כבר חי בך, כל מה שתרצה, כל מה שתחלום יתגשם בך. הכל מה שתשאל זאת התשובה שלך, כל מה שתשאל, מה שתחפש אתה תמצא בך, תמצא בך. כל מה שתכתוב יהיה סיפור שלך, כל מה שתכתוב, כל מה שתכתוב יציף בך. הכל העבר מחליף צורה להווה של זיכרונות, זה לא פחות, אתה יודע, לא פחות. וגם אתה מחליף צורה לאדם של חלומות, זה לא פחות, אתה יודע, לא פחות. זה לא פחות, אתה יודע, לא פחות. הללי לי, הדילי לי לי, הללי דילי לי 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 לי, הללי לי, הדילי לי לי, הללי דילי לי לי לי, הללי לי, הדילי לי לי, הללי דילי לי לי לי, הדילי לי לי, הדילי לי לי, הללי דילי לי לי. כל מה שעבר ימשיך לחיות בך, כל מה שעבר, מה שתחפש אתה תמצא בך, תמצא בך. כל מה שתרצה כבר חי בך, כל מה שתרצה, כל מה שתחלום יתגשם בך. כל העבר מחליף צורה להווה של זיכרונות, זה לא פחות, אתה יודע, לא פחות. וגם אתה מחליף צורה לאדם של חלומות, זה לא פחות, אתה יודע. העבר מחליף צורה להווה של זיכרונות, זה לא פחות, אתה יודע, לא פחות. גם אתה מחליף צורה לאדם של חלומות, זה לא פחות, אתה יודע, לא פחות. זה לא פחות, אתה יודע, לא פחות. הלללי, הדילי לא לא, הלללי לא 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 לא, הלללי, הדילי לא לא, הלללי לא 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 לא, הלללי, הדילי לא לא, הלללי דילי לא 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 לא, הלללי, הדילי לא לא, הלללי. Repeat after me. Oh, diddly lo, diddly lo. You guys are amazing. ויום אחד תתעורר ועל דף התוצאות מה יהיה כתוב? אדם של חלומות. דידי לי לי, דידי לי לי, דידי לי דידי לי 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 לי, דידי לי לי, דידי לי לי, דידי לי 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 לי,
So, as you probably noticed, we have a subtle, a cold war happening over the guitar, but sharing is caring. So we believe in equality. So the next song is actually an original song which we haven't released yet. It's hopefully going to be in our next album, and it's about. Well, I wrote it when I realized that we all kind of walk around our lives with this big unspoken truth, which is that we all have our fears and our insecurities and those moments where we feel like we're just not good enough. But everyone kind of pretends that they're just fine and they're okay. But they're thinking, everyone else is fine and I'm the only one who's dealing with my baggage and with my struggles, and really, I feel like when we learn to embrace our vulnerability and to admit, and we realize that everyone around us is thinking and feeling the same thing sometimes, that's really what allows us to connect. It's what allows us to be real, and it's part of what makes us beautiful. I don't need to cover up my scar. I won't sew these cracks together. I'm perfectly fine not being fine. I don't mind. I ain't gonna try to hold it in. I won't burn these tears in silence, 'cause I'm not ashamed of being afraid, and at times I fall to my feet, 'cause we all get loose at the seams, and I am beautifully breakable. I won't pretend that I'm made out of steel. I'm vulnerable and insecure, and I bleed 'cause I'm flawed and incomplete, and I am beautiful indeed. I ain't gonna try to cover up. Let the world see my heart bleed. Why are we trying so hard to pretend we're okay? And who are we fooling anyway? 'Cause I am beautifully breakable. I won't pretend that I'm made out of steel. I'm vulnerable and insecure, and I bleed 'cause I'm flawed and incomplete, and I am beautiful, and I am beautifully breakable. I won't pretend that I'm made out of steel. I'm vulnerable and insecure, and I bleed 'cause I'm flawed and incomplete, and I am beautiful indeed. And I am beautifully breakable. I can't pretend that I'm made out of steel. I'm vulnerable and insecure, and I bleed 'cause I'm flawed and incomplete, and I am beautiful, and I am beautifully breakable. I When I asked my parents why it was that they decided to get up and make Aliyah and move to Israel, they gave me two very different answers. My dad's answer was, well, you know, I was a very big Zionist. I was very active on college campus. I was so passionate about Israel, and during the Yom Kippur War, I was out there rallying, and I was such a big Zionist. I ended up making Aliyah and moving to Israel. I said, okay, that's a decent answer. And then I asked my mom, and she said, well, you know, I really like the fruits and vegetables. So as a kid, I was like, I think I'll go with my dad's answer. It felt a little more heroic, and I related to it a lot more. I understood it a lot more. But I think that as I grow older, I learned to respect more and more my mom's answer. Because really, when you think about it, and anybody here who's visited Israel, it really is this this combination of two very different experiences. On one hand, it's this kind of like dream come true, this big vision of like our nation returning to its homeland, and it's this big dream. And on the other hand, it's totally a reality. You know, it's a real place with fruits and vegetables and traffic and people who are both rude and friendly at the same time. And it's, you know, it's a real place. It is real. And I think that understanding both of those, understanding that it's both a dream and a reality at the same time, for me personally, that's what makes really my connection to Israel so special. So we celebrated not long ago Israel's 70th, and we put together kind of a little mashup of the different decades of the history.
Starting from the Charutzim all the way to
of Israeli music. So we're going to go on a little bit of a journey through the history of Israeli music together.
Just sing along.
You're invited to join us.
Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Venismecha. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Venismecha. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר בו. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר חי, כן אני להיות חי. זה השיר שסבא שר אתמול לאבא, והיום אני עוד חי, עם ישראל חי. זה השיר שסבא שר אתמול לאבא, והיום העוף כוזר, חתוך את השמיים, טוס לאן שבא לך,
עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, ועל כולם סלם, עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם, 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 עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם, סלם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. סלם, עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם, 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 עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם, סלם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם.
Let's hear you guys.
עוד יבוא שלום. שלום עלינו ועל כולם.
So I want to dedicate the next song to our son, our baby boy, who I really hope is sleeping right now. And this is actually a song that I wrote 4 days after he was born, about a year ago. And at the time, my grandmother was slowly kind of stopping to communicate. And after he was born, 4 days after he was born, I was on my way to go visit her and sing to her when, as I was about to leave the house, my mom told me that my grandfather had fallen and broken his hip. And I said, Mom, what's going on? You know, the birth and my grandma and now my grandfather. And she said something to me like, you know, there's a movement in the souls. And that really went with me. So I wrote this song. I actually sent it to my grandfather. And his response was, my dear granddaughter, thank you for this beautiful song you wrote to me. I want you to know that I'm always with you, if not in body, then in spirit. And as we were working on the music video for this song, he moved onwards. So this song is dedicated both to our baby boy and to my grandfather, and to all of us who are somewhere in the middle. There's a movement in the souls. Some will come and some will go, to a place that no one knows, and the cycle never slows. Little person, welcome to our home. I pray you'll never be alone. There's a man I hope you know. He's brave and growing old. Some of his blood flows in yours. And we're all somewhere in the middle as these doors keep spinning around. We sure know when the
about this world of ours. And then we try to make the most of what you've given us before it's time for you to take it back. There's a movement in the soul. I met an angel long ago. He taught me everything I know, then said it's time to go. I'll come back and meet you down the road. And we're all somewhere in the middle as these stars keep spinning round. We show up knowing nothing about this world of ours. And then we try to make the most of what you've given us before it's time for you to take it back. We're all somewhere in the middle as these stars keep spinning round. We show up knowing nothing about this world of ours. And then we try to be our best with what you've given us before it's time for you to take us back. There's a movement in the souls. Some will come and some will go to a place that no one knows, and the cycle never slows.
אלוהי, נשמה שנתת בי, טהורה היא, טהורה היא. אלוהי, נשמה שנתת בי, טהורה היא, טהורה היא. אתה בראתה, אתה יצרת, ואתה משמרה בקרבי, טהורה היא. אתה בראתה, אתה יצרת, ואתה משמרה בקרבי, טהורה היא,
טהורה היא.
אתה בראתה, אתה יצרת, ואתה משמרה בקרבי טהורה היא. אתה בראתה, אתה יצרת, ואתה משמרה בקרבי טהורה היא, טהורה היא. Let's do that one more time, you could join. אתה בראתה, אתה יצרת, ואתה משמרה בקרבי טהורה היא. אתה בראתה, אתה יצרת, ואתה משמרה בקרבי טהורה היא, טהורה היא.
There's someone who's really a very important person who I think we haven't mentioned yet this evening. She's not here with us today, and that's our daughter. She is actually very far away back in Israel, and we miss her very, very, very much. But we know she's having a blast with her grandmother. Now she's 3.5, and she wants to do everything on her own. And we're actually, there's a story that I think really describes that characteristic of hers, of really wanting to be completely independent. There was one day we were sitting in the living room, and I see her taking a bag on her back and heading towards the door. And
like, Ashira, where are you going? She goes, I'm going to the petting zoo. So you're going to the petting zoo? The petting zoo is really far.
And also, now's not a good time. We'll go tomorrow.
She goes, no, I really want to go now. And
Like, no, it's not so convenient for mommy and daddy to go now.
she's like, no, it's okay, I'll go alone. So I was like, alone? But Ashira, but it's really far. She goes, it's okay, I'm taking the car. She's 3. So then I was so curious, like, what she's actually going to take the car. So
She says, Daddy, where are the keys?
So I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens. So I give her the keys, and I start following her to the car. And she's walking with her bag, with the keys. And she gets to the car, and she clicks on the car, and it opens. And then she's like, Daddy, open the door. So I open the door for her. She sits in the front seat, and her legs are like sitting over there. And then she's like, I know, I have to press this button. I'm like, okay, that's it.
But yeah, she would really try and do everything on her own if we let her. And we actually, one of our latest projects is working on a kids album, and this is one of the songs from the album that we wrote, and it's about that stage where children really want to be so independent and do everything on their own, but they're always still kind of peeking over the shoulder, just making sure that we're still there. Okay, yeah, so you guys can help us by doing the following. Do you want the guitar or should I do it? You got it. You're good.
Sharing is caring.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so you can help us by doing this.
could do. I can do it on my own. Just give me a chance, I wanna try it all. Let me learn and let me fall. Just please don't go too far. I can do it on my own. Just give me a chance, I wanna try it all. Let me learn, let me fall. Just please don't go too far. Sometimes I get And yet sometimes I get scared and need a helping hand. You know that if I climb too high, I may want to come down. But that doesn't mean that I won't get back up and give it another try. I want my space, I want my freedom, but I want you by my side. I can do it on my own. Just give me a chance, I wanna try it all. Let me learn, let me fall. Just please don't go too far. I can do it on my own. Just give me a chance, I wanna try it all. Let me learn and let me fall. Just please don't go too far. I can do it on my own. Just give me a chance, I wanna try it all. Let me learn and let me fall. Just please don't go. I can do it on my own. Just give me a chance, I wanna try it all.
I can do
Just
it.
please don't go too far.
I can do it.
Do it on my
I can do
own.
it.
Just give me a chance, I wanna try
I
it
can
all.
do
Let me fall. Just please don't go too far.
So I want to tell you guys another story, and it's actually about our second date. So we were, yes, we were on our way to a concert. We figured we both like music, so it's a safe bet. And we're driving on the way to the concert, and it's my mom's car, but Yoni's actually the one who's driving, because I asked my parents if I could take the car, and I'm a terrible driver. So they said, sure, but only if he drives.
They've never met me before.
But that's how much they didn't want me driving. So we're on the way to the concert, and we're driving in the car, and we get there kind of early. And Yoni says, you know, we're here kind of early. There are all these natural springs throughout Israel. You know, it's a thing. People go, you sit next to the spring, you make yourself a little coffee or tea, you sit there, you hang out. So he said, let's go to a natural spring nearby. We'll sit there, and then we'll go to the concert.
So I was like,
We start driving, and
we get close to the spring over there, and then I noticed a lot of mud. So I told Nina, you know, it's your parents' car. I don't feel comfortable going into the mud. She's like, why? It's fine. It's a Jeep. It's a 4x4. It's a great car. So I said, yeah, but I don't want to get it dirty, and we might get stuck. She's like, no, come on, let's go. I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, no. I said, what, are you scared? And I'm like, I'm not scared. I'll go into the mud. I'm cool. So then I started driving into the mud, and you know, I just, as a few feet pass, I just feel how the car is sinking more and more. Next thing I know, I'm pressing on the gas. I'm not moving, and I look at Nina, and I want to say, "I told you so," but it's a second date, so I'm stuck in the mud. So I look at her and I'm thinking, oh, what are we gonna do? I'm trying to think how I'm gonna get out of this. And she's smiling. Look how close we are to the string. Let's just go. I'm like, what do you mean? Let's go. It's your parents' car. It's stuck in the mud. I'm freaking out. So Nina says, you know, this actually reminds me of a story. I'm like, what story are you talking about now?
it reminded me of a story that has a nigun that goes along with it, a tune without words. And the story goes about a group of Hasidim. They're on their way to their Rebbe, and they're riding in their wagon, and they're singing, and then their wagon gets stuck in the mud, and they start pushing it, and the tune goes, and finally they manage to get their wagon out of the mud, and they get to their Rebbe all happy, and they sing, and that's how the tune goes, and that's how the story goes. So I told Yoni, listen, exact same situation. Our wagon's stuck in the mud. Let's sing the nigun.
And I was like, she's a little woo, you know. Like, what do you mean? We'll sing the nigun and we'll get out of the mud. Yeah. So I go, okay, I'll push and we'll sing the nigun and let's do this. So I step out of the car and I fall into the mud up to my knees. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm walking behind the car, and I start pushing. And she goes, and sing. I'm like, okay. So we start singing, I did it, and I'm pressing the car, and she starts pressing on the gas, and the wheels start turning, and all the mud starts flying into my face. And all the mud's flying into my face. I'm like, laughing and crying, and I don't know what to think. This is crazy. And we're doing this for like 10 minutes and singing again. I did it. And we're still stuck in the mud. So I told Nina, this is a great story to tell my friends. Now, let's call it a tow truck or something. So then Nina, she looks at me and she's like, no, you don't understand. It's just, we didn't sing with enough kavana. You have to have intention to sing with all your might. And I was like, you know, full of mud, just like two eyes, you know, like bloop, bloop, you know, just. And I'm thinking, okay, I guess I gotta go back there. She's like, yeah, let's do it. So I was like, okay, she lived in Sfat for 2 years, and I thought that was very special. And then I knew she's very special. So I go back behind the car, and we start doing this again, and she presses on the gas. And the mud starts flying in my face. And we're singing again. I did it. And I start just like yelling it. I'm like, oh, whatever. Hashem. And all of a sudden, it just bounced out of the mud. I'm like, oh my God. And she starts flying and running after her. And I was like, the nigun worked. And we go to the concert, full of mud. And that was actually the first time we ever sang together. And, you know,
it kind of got things rolling. So, really, this nigun has a lot of powers. And in general, I think the combination of pushing and singing a nigun together can do really wonderful things.
So if anyone has any mud they're stuck in, it could be physical mud or a spiritual mud that you really want to uplift yourself above this muddy situation. You want to really raise yourself up. So you can sing along. The words are very easy. It's nai 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 nai. Hey dum digga dum digga dum digga la 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 dum digga dum digga la 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 dum digga dum digga dum digga la 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 do the la 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 do the la 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 do the la 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 I do the la 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 do the la la I do the la 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 do the la 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 do the la la I do the la la oh
There's a song that I want to finish with. It's a song that I actually wrote to Yoni when we were engaged, and we really met in Svat. I was doing my national service there, and living in the old city, and Yoni was spending a Shabbat in Svat with a group of high school kids. He was their tour guide. He took them to see the view from the balcony of the place where I was working, and I was the view. And we had a short conversation. That's really kind of where everything got started. And when we were engaged, I wrote this song, but actually I didn't really write the song to Yoni.
What?
I wrote it to something much larger, much greater, which is to love, to ahava, as an essence, as an energy. Because really, if you think about it, it's kind of like the electricity that connects between everything in our world. It's the reason for everything. It's the source for everything. It connects between families and parents and children and us and ourselves and us and Hashem and within our nation and within the world. And we need a lot more of it in our world. We need a lot more ahava. So we want this song to really be a prayer, a joint prayer, that all the places in the world that are still a little lacking, that are still a little lonely, a little separated, will all be filled with this amazing energy.
עוטפת אותנו בחום ושלווה, לכל לב דואב וחופץ על תשובה, לוחשת בשפתך אמת פשוטה.
מודה אני כל בוקר שהחזרת את נשמתי,
מודה אני על בגד שהנחת על גופי, שלא יהיה לי קל, אתה שומר עליי. מודה אני כל בוקר על האור, על עצם היותי, מודה אני על לחם שהנחת לשולחני, שלא אהיה רעב, שלא ידע כאב.
על אין ספור חיוכיי מודה אני,
על כל כישרונותיי ועל כל שיריי,
את כולם אקדיש לך. דע לך שמודה אני לך.
אצעק לך אדיר שמך, אליך את חיי, לך חיי, לך ליבי וטובתי, אליך את חיי, לך את חיי.
על אין ספור חיוכיי מודה אני,
על כל כישרונותיי ועל כל שיריי,
את כולם אקדיש לך. דע לך שמודה אני לך.
לי אתה ועודך אלוהי ארוממך, אלי אתה ועודך אלוהי ארוממך, אלי אתה ועודך אלוהי ארוממך, אלי אתה ועודך אלוהי ארוממך. מודה אני כל בוקר.
Zioni has this theory that it's not enough to sing somebody else's Modani, but that We each need to really write our own modani. So this is our personal modani. It's also the last song on our album. And yeah, it's our personal way of saying thank you.
מודה אני לפניך
על חסד ויופי, על אושר וטוב.
מודה
אני
על הסיפור שכתבת לי ושכתוב אני כל בוקר מחדש.
תודה זכה פשוטה ויפה שהשאיר אותי מרע. תודה שהבוקר בא שמעבר לגוף שגם בשמה טהורה חופשייה. תודה לאתמול ועל כל מה שעוד מחכה לי היום, שבתן ים דלום ועל אמון גדול שאפשר להתחיל מחדש עם הכל.
מודה אני
על הטוב שנתת
בי ושהחזרת בי
כדי שיהיה לי מה ללמוד.
מודה אני
על הסיפור שכתבת לי
ושכתוב אני
כל בוקר
מחדש שחזרת בי משנתי
בחמלה
אמונתך שחזרת בי משנתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך.
Thank you, Yoni, for singing with me.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you to this amazing band, to Yoshi, and Philip, and Michael. Thank you, Burak, on the sound.
Thank you, Rabbi, for the warm words in the beginning. It was beautiful.
Thank you to B'nai Shalom, to all the sponsors, to all the staff members, to Leslie, Gary, and everyone we were in touch with. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for all the likes and everything. Thank you on Facebook for all the shares, all the likes, all the...
All the comments. Thank you to the babysitter. תודה שם.
שחזרת בי נשמתי
בחמלה.
רבה אמונתך שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך זרגי שחזרת בי נשמתי
בחמלה.
רבה אמונתך שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך תודה לך רבה אמונתך שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך.
Thank you, JBS. Thank you, everyone.
תודה.
Thank you.
We would be pleased to send a complimentary DVD of this program to anyone who wishes to support JBS with a tax-deductible gift of $36, double chai or more. Simply visit the JBS website at jbstv.org and click on the Donate button to make a donation by PayPal or your credit card. And please indicate the program for which you would like a DVD. Or you can send your tax-deductible check to JBS, P.O. Box 180, Riverdale Station, Bronx, New York, 10471. And again, please remember to indicate which program you would like to receive with our compliments. And we thank you for your kind support.